We're in the Landsborough wilderness area chasing Bull Tahr. On this trip we've got Richie Williams, Luke Potts, Ryan Carr and myself, and we're going to head around some very steep mountain country and a fair bit of bush as well and look for some Bull Tahr. It's an awesome spot way up here in the wilderness area. You get given a designated landing spot to set up a camp and you can work from there. It's huge country, so there's plenty of options for hunting in all different directions. But before we start, we need to get our taxi ride into the block. We unloaded most of our gear at the base camp and then Ryan and Richie jumped back in the machine to head up to a higher landing site. The boys camped the night up here after a fresh dump of snow. They had a good look around. There was only a few bulls hanging about. Most of them seemed to be down in the scrub line. So they headed on back down the valley out to the scrub zone. It was a bit of a mission for them to get out of the creek area, but once they got up into that scrub zone, they started seeing tahr. Ryan liked the look of this bull, so it was just a matter of waiting him out before he could present a shot.
He's only 12 inches long, but he's probably 9.5 years old. Yeah, a bit of age on him.
After recovering the head and skin off Ryan's bull, the boys decided to head down through the scrub line and onto the tussock. And that's where they bumped into this guy. Meanwhile, back down at base camp, Luke and I had only one option, and that was to go uphill through the bush. There's quite a few tahr hanging around in the beech forest. It is pretty hard to film. We eventually broke out into a little clearing and got the spotter out. time for me and Luke to call it a day, head back down to camp for the night, and then have another go in the morning.
Go again.
Oh, there you go. After shooting one bull, amazingly another group of tahr just came popping back out, and there was another bull there for Luke to have a go at. Shot. Got him good. Oh, here he comes peeling down. Neither of these two bulls were monsters, but both Luke and I were pretty keen to get some nice tahr skins for the floor at home. It was time for us to get our heavy loads back down the hill and out to camp. Ryan and Richie turned up to camp after spending a couple of days up in the higher ground, so that added a bit more dynamics to the card playing at camp. The next morning we spent a heap of time glassing all the faces on the other side of the river. After spotting several nice looking bulls, we decided it was time to get the raft out and get ourselves across the other side of the Landsborough. Ryan and Luke teamed up and they climbed up through the scrub to find themselves a bit of a lookout and spot over for some tahr, and they pretty soon found a really nice looking bull. This bull was doing his best to keep hiding in the scrub and make himself unavailable for a shot, so Luke had to be very, very patient. very nice old bull for Luke, about 13¼ inches in length. The next few days were spent hunting the country opposite our camp, and we saw plenty of animals. On our last day, Richie spotted a really nice dark coloured bull way up high in the opposite face, so it was time for him to head on up after him. A really well earned 13½-inch bull for Richie, and a beautiful mane on him as well. The taxi arrived the next morning, so it was time for us to pack up and head on out. And we'll be getting our ballot entries in for this West Coast Tahr balloted country and hoping for another good block in 2017.